Oh man, it did it again. All right, so I guess we're not going live on 365 because I had to restart the computer. So now it's asking for fresh credentials, and I don't have time. I don't have time to plug all those in. So anyway, eventually that won't matter because one of these days I'm going to get a machine set up to just do that side of it. Next thing on my list. All right. Oh, I do want to check something real quick. Going to test a theory. I think I finally figured out how to integrate spaces properly, but I think I have to do it by Bluetoothing my phone to the system. Since I can do that now. So I'm going to test that, because if so, I'm going to be using that later. Oh, yeah, I think you can, because weird, it even has an enable video option now. I've not seen that before, but
I believe you.
no, we're not inviting anybody. I'm just testing something right now. And Bluetooth. Broadcaster. Although I guess it's going to be really hard for me to test it since I would normally be listening from my phone. I can't do that because I'm running the spaces through my phone. Oh well, I'll just do this for a minute while we're in commercials and then kill it if I don't hear anything that I know it didn't work.
Okay.
Bringing up some sound real quick as a final test because we're almost to the intro anyway.
But for podcasts, it's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the number one way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
And welcome everyone to another episode of He Said, She Said. I am your host for the evening, Aggie, and with me is our awesome producer and guest host or semi-permanent host. I'm not sure anymore. Rick.
I'm starting to feel like this has become a permanent thing.
I'm starting to think so too.
Because Mickey hung out for an impromptu dude bro last week and made it rather clear he's not sure when he's coming back. So I'm starting to feel like this may be permanent.
Yeah, his job has taken a decided turn, and I'm not privy to say anything outside of that, but it's been very difficult for him. So, I completely get it though.
Yeah,
So,
he even made a point of saying how great it was that he had the outlet during COVID, and I'm like, this sounds like a goodbye speech, sir. He's like, well, I'm definitely doing the production still, and I'm like, so you're saying I'm keeping your seat warm a while longer, and that's not the one I meant to hit. I think this was pretty much the response I got when I asked that question last week. So, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know he's pretty stuck, but that's okay. Maybe he'll come back once the job situation stabilizes and
to be fair, he's got the job situation. He's a newlywed, so right now a lot of his attention has to be elsewhere because
And
everybody,
he's learning to fly.
yeah, well, everybody claims it doesn't, but your relationship dynamic changes completely once the ring is official because then it becomes you have to pay more attention to me now. Yeah, no, anyway. So he'll be going through that for a while, I'm sure. So yeah, fun time.
Oh wow. Anyway, so how have you been this past week since I didn't get to do the show last week?
Well, I mean, usual, working my ass off. Today I was supposed to do the Friday edition or the Friday edition of the Rick Robinson show, and all I got was no internet. So yeah, I think Spaces is working because I'm hearing noises I haven't heard before. So
Well, that's
I'm
interesting.
testing Spaces through my phone as a test for later, and I just heard something, so I'm guessing it's probably working.
Yeah, that kind of freaked me out. I guess I must have I had clicked on a video to listen to, but I didn't mute it before I got out of that tweet or whatever. And I heard you yesterday, and I'm like, what in the world? What? Why are you in my phone? I do not understand. Because I wasn't I was in DM. So I didn't know what's going on.
Yeah, as soon as you were like, I'm hearing Rick somewhere, and I'm like, well, I know I've disconnected everything, and I'm not even anywhere near my studio, and the Bluetooth range isn't that far. And then I got to thinking about it when you said it sounded like he just said we're live on Twitter, and I said, yeah, you're hearing a replay of a video somewhere then.
Yeah. So I was just like, why is this happening? But you know what? Whatever. It's all magic, and I just leave it alone.
Rick's voice is in my head. It's terrifying. Kind of how I took that last night.
Well, it's
anyway.
it's a good day today because we do have a special announcement. It is our friend Zelda's birthday today. She is all of what?
26.
26? Yeah. So
which to her is old.
Shut it. Shut up,
I have
Zelda.
socks older than her.
Oh my God, Zelda, no, you're not old.
She likes to think she is, but I remember being of that perspective though, because I remember once I passed 25, I was like, I'm really starting to feel kind of old, and everybody that was older than me was like, you're full of crap.
I never was like that. I can honestly say I was born old head on young shoulders. That's what my dad used to call me. So I never thought 26 was old. I thought it was still too young. I was like, I couldn't wait to get to my 30s so that I could start maturing. I honestly felt that way. My sisters thought I was crazy. And now in hindsight, they were like, boy, you were right. And I was like, yeah, I know, because I know. And of course, I'm the oldest, and I'll be turning 58 this year. And so my youngest sister, she's 50, and she is not looking forward to 51. I'm like, it's just a year. I don't understand why you're upset about this. She's like, it means everything.
If you were okay with 50, why are you upset about 51?
I do not understand that at all. I don't understand that. My brother is 40, and he's like freaking out over it still.
Oh. Before I forget, we have to do this.
We represent the Lollipop Guild.
Oh my God.
The Lollipop Guild. And in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkin Land.
Tonight, Zelda, because you requested a roast, and that's as close as she's going to get on that too. You'll get more.
I'm sorry. I just don't roast people. I feel really bad. I can't do it, and I suck at it because I can't do it.
I thought that was pretty effective considering all the short jokes we give her.
Oh, well, I was literally singing the Lollipop Guild song. That's it. I did not say anything I didn't say it was Zelda. I just repeated it.
Yeah, I think you're trying to de-guilt your attempt at a roast, and I'm not going to let it work.
Okay, if that was my attempt at a roast, that's as good as it's going to get. I'm sorry. I don't like doing it, and when I'm pushed into doing it, it just comes out wrong and really lame and stupid. So I prefer not to. So that's as close as I'm going to get. So there you go. It has been recorded for posterity.
Oh, I already ripped those earlier. It's gonna they're gonna they, there they're gonna be random sound effects set up on everybody's show because now I can set up different scenes for different shows, and those are gonna be permanently loaded for just whenever.
Oh Lord. Okay.
You're welcome. Aggie's like, I'm never recording anything in a DM again.
But yes, it's our friend Zelda's birthday, and there will be a spaces after the show for the exclusive purpose of roasting her, which I just don't get.
I mean, you know,
But you know what? That's what she wants, and
I mean,
more
that's
power to her.
that's what she asked for. Apparently, she likes to have her friends tease her and make her laugh, and she knows it's all in good fun. So,
Yes, this is true. This is true.
but anyway, so I have to ask this question before we get into the topic of the show.
Mhm.
What the hell was Joe Biden doing today with the Pope?
My guess is that the Babylon Bee probably had the best line ever. Joe Biden confused the Pope for an ice cream cone.
I don't know what that was. I hadn't really,
First of all, is that it was a shocking breach of etiquette. You are not supposed to do that. You can be invited to take his hand, and a lot of the time, dignitaries and certain people are invited to take his hand. Some devout Catholics will kiss it, but that's as far as it goes, unless the Pope actually makes the first move to hug someone or to take somebody's hand or take somebody's arm, to somebody that's convalescing from an illness, somebody who has come, several thousand miles just to get a blessing, that kind of thing. But you are not supposed to approach the Pope first. And when this happened, I just had a flashback with Michelle Obama and Queen Elizabeth. It was the same vibe. I'm like, girl, you are not supposed to touch the Queen unless she invites you to.
yeah,
But she goes and gives her a hug, and I'm like, what are you doing?
that is most assuredly not supposed to happen.
And so, with this situation, I was just like, nobody told him, or if they did tell him, he completely forgot. And I'm willing to bet it was the second, not the first. I know there's a reason why the Office of Protocol exists, and this is one of the reasons. So I'm pretty sure that he forgot completely, and I don't think he was really aware that what he was doing was an extreme faux pas, but it has provided us with a magnificent opportunity for memedom and for captioning. So, hey, let's take advantage of it.
I'm just thinking, as somebody that's, supposed to be a Catholic, I'm pretty sure he's aware that you're not.
But that's just it. I think he was baptized Catholic. He did his first communion. I'm pretty sure he was confirmed Catholic, and married into the Catholic Church. I'm not sure about the second marriage being in the Catholic Church. I mean, obviously he was a widower, so it would be acceptable in the Catholic Church. But I'm just not aware if he got married to Jill in the Catholic Church. But he's not a practicing Catholic, not by any stretch. And nothing that he has done has ever given the impression to people in the church that he is a practicing Catholic. It's only out of convenience, just like Pelosi. So, when he did this, I was like, yep, he either doesn't care or he completely forgot. I'm willing to bet it was that he completely forgot, because he's been, I mean, you've seen him. He's been floundering. He was like walking around completely lost. Joe Walsh came out and tweeted, it's like, oh, this is a total lie. And I'm like, dude, we all saw the video. We saw the extended video. We saw the even more extended video. this was not a lie.
Dude, he walked over and gave a thumbs up to a guy that wasn't even paying attention to him, and then looked around like he had no idea where he was until the Italian prime minister was like, "Hey, buddy, we're back over here. Come on." I was
And
just
this is
like,
not the first time it happens. I mean, it's like you cannot. People still trying to gaslight us into thinking that this man has all of his capabilities, and he does not. And right now, Stephen Green actually wrote a column for PJ Media asking, for bets on what the medicinal cocktail for the debate was going to be, because he just cannot see this debate going well at all, not unless he's completely doped up. So I think the medicines were fading, they were not strong enough, or they were, he had metabolized them or something, because when he did that with the Pope, and you can tell, I mean, look at the Pope's face, was completely surprised. Like, what are you doing? And like I said, the reason for that is, if the Pope approaches you to hug you and everything, that's completely different. But you never approach the Pope, without him knowing first who's going to be doing what, And most of the time, like I said, is you take his hand, or you do a reverent bowing to the hand, that kind of thing, and that's it. So I don't know how they're going to spin it. I'm pretty sure they're working on something, but I can honestly tell you, the Pope's face says it all. This was a complete surprise, and this should not have happened.
the Pope literally looks like he feels like he's about to be treated like an altar boy. Just saying.
You know,
I mean, I hate
I
to
was gonna. I have a better caption, but I thought it's too bad and it's too rude, and I'll probably go to hell for it.
You probably should have done it. I'm just saying.
I can no. It's bad.
I'm just saying, you probably should have done it.
No, it's really bad.
Well, you should at least tell us here, with like your 15 other friends and everybody else listening.
No, I will. I might DM it to you later.
Chicken.
Big time.
Chicken. All right, so hang on a second. This may sound weird, but I'm going to test something real quick. What is that? Why is there music playing?
I don't know.
The Spaces is playing music, but I don't know where it's coming from. What the hell? That shouldn't be happening.
I have absolutely nothing playing on my laptop, so
is it something?
I don't know, but it's pretty soothing.
I don't know. It's acting like but it's the only thing that's going through though, because that's really weird. I have no idea what's going on right now. Because it's not even registering on the Bluetooth. So whatever this is not working.
Okie dokie.
Working, sort of, but not coming through there. I don't know what that is though. Okay, so I'm just gonna shut that down, because whatever it is, it's not doing what it was supposed to be doing. So that was not a successful test. So
Okay. I believe you.
we'll just tell you all good, even though
Where's
it's
all
all.
this new age music coming from? Like,
I have no idea, but I don't know, because that wasn't coming from anything I'm playing, so I don't know where that was coming from. That was really weird. Maybe because it wasn't picking anything up, it started playing music like, "Hey, we're waiting on the host" or something. I don't know.
that could be it. Could be
that
it.
was really weird though.
Default.
Anyway, apparently, according to Stacy, she has seen other people doing what we do that have managed to incorporate Spaces somehow. So I just thought maybe if I ran it through the board, it would pick it up. Yeah, apparently that doesn't work either. So the good news is I can't actually host it from my computer now. So, but I was going to try to simulcast it on the station at the same time here in a little bit, and apparently that will not work. But I can always grab the audio and post it later. So
Okay.
not the end of the world, I guess. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to distract everything, but I was like, I need to see if this is working, and I kind of forgot.
Okay.
But yeah, that music was like, am I trying to put myself to sleep over here? I didn't do that anyway. But yeah, no, like I said, I had started the process to get things outlined for the show today, and usually on Fridays I play a couple of jeans clips anyway, so I was only going to be doing like an hour. So, and some of this hadn't even broken yet, but then my internet went down, so I had to go
Right.
through, and because I only everything in my house runs on internet now. I don't have satellite TV or anything. So when my internet went down, I have my hotspot on my phone. So I went in and connected my TV to my phone so I could at least watch stuff. And then I was like, well, I'm not doing the show. So I kind of started paying attention to other things. And then I turned the news back on when I was eating dinner. And all of a sudden, I see a picture of Joe Biden forehead to forehead with the Pope. And I'm like, this is like a million times worse than what Donald Trump supposedly did to Queen Elizabeth.
That's just I don't understand. I do not understand. The only reasonable explanation is that he completely forgot protocol. He just did not know at all. I don't think he even knew who it was, honestly.
I don't think he knows where he is from minute to minute. I think whatever cocktails they give him make him cogent for a little while, and then as those start wearing off, it just becomes readily apparent. Because I mean, even in the speeches he's been giving lately, the only time he can ever make sense is usually for about 5 or 10 minutes at a time, and it's usually only when he's yelling, and then the rest of the time you get
Sure. Okay.
somebody bring me my tapioca.
Yeah, pretty much that's where he's at. Just give him his ice cream and sit him over in the corner.
But the weirdest thing is hearing all of the media still trying to carry water for this guy. Like they're recycling the clip from years ago when I guess there was, I don't remember if there was ice on the ramp or what happened when Donald Trump was trying to come off a stage.
Yes,
and
there
wheelchair
was. It was
ice on
very slippery. It was during the I want to say laying of the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Is that when it happened?
it may have been, but
But it was wet. It was very slippery and cold, so there might have been ice as well. And yes, he did slip. And what a lot of people didn't catch was that the Marine slipped as well. So it's not like.
Well,
but,
they didn't catch the Marine slipping part because the clip that's going around now doesn't show any of that. Because they're all like, yeah, this is the guy that's trying to tell you that Joe Biden's too feeble to do his job. And I'm like, this is the guy who could use the long stairs on Air Force One.
I'm like, I don't, whatever.
But anyway, so not the only reason I brought this up is because not only is it Zelda's birthday, happy birthday, it's also Donald Trump's birthday, which for some reason
Yes, it is. It's Donald Trump's birthday. It's the U.S. Army's birthday, and it is Flag Day. So Zelda was born on a very special day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't remember.
A lot of celebration.
There was something when I figured out her birthday was on Flag Day, and also realized how much she liked puns. I tried to make a pun about her birthday, and it didn't go over. And I was like, "Damn it!" Because I don't remember what it was. It was something about running a short joke pun up the flagpole or something, and nobody got it. I'm like, I can't believe I just made a Flag Day pun, and everybody missed.
And no one got it.
That's sad. I mean, nobody got it.
You tried.
I know, it was, but what are you gonna do?
It's funny though.
kind of felt like this, and then a little bit like this. I got sad trombone on my own pun. It was terrible.
Oh, opportunity missed. Oh well, that's okay. I'm sure that the roast will more than make up for it. Oh man. So anyway, I guess we can, since we are on the topic of birthdays, seeing as it is Zelda's birthday, Trump's birthday, U.S. Army's birthday, I guess we can now talk about our favorite birthday celebrations that we've ever had. Um, I didn't have that many growing up. I had too many cousins. So I honestly, I had one grandparent never gave me a gift in one set of grandparents never gave us gifts in their entire life. It was too much. I had so many cousins on that side of the family that and they were poor. So, the thought of getting a gift for my grandparents was like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. I mean, I didn't think it was weird or anything, mind you. We would go over there on our birthdays and eat my grandmother's fabulous food. And for me, that was like best birthday ever. She was a fabulous cook, And we had the run of the entire coffee plantation and all the way down to the river. We could run everywhere and everything. It was a great birthday, even though it wasn't even a birthday celebration. But most of my birthday parties took place after I moved to the States. And I only remember one before graduating high school, believe it or not. Even though I know for a fact that every birthday there was cake, and my sisters and I would, we would sing birthday and do all that. But I never had like friends come over for a party or go out for a specific party event or anything like that. It just wasn't my thing. But I do remember my 12th birthday party. I received my first book that was mine, that I owned. And my father gave it to me. And to this day, I still have it. And it was that birthday was so special to me because I did not receive a piece of clothing, which pretty much every birthday I did, right? And it wasn't about, a toy or anything like that. It was a book. And for me, that was like, I've been given the gift of information. I've been given the gift of words, and they're now mine. That's the way I saw it. I could go to the library, but I always had to return the book, you know? So that one was pretty special. And I know it's not a big celebration or anything, but it was a big milestone for me.
No, I mean that's awesome though. So I don't know. I never really felt like my family made a big deal about my birthdays growing up. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, there were like little celebrations. Like there was one time I know it was before we moved, so I was probably 10. I think it was the birthday before we moved because I was 10. And I got my first Transformer. So that to me that was a big deal because we were always kind of poor growing up. So I got Optimus Prime. But that was like awesome. I think one of my better childhood birthday memories was one that specifically pissed my mom off because it was the summer after my parents divorced. So my dad paid for a Chuck E. Cheese birthday and bought me a BB gun. My mom was pissed.
But you were not.
I was not. I was happy. I got a little. It wasn't the Red Rider. It was a Daisy BB gun patterned after the rifleman's gun because that was one of my favorite shows growing up when I was a kid.
Oh man.
It wasn't Star Trek because my dad used to watch that one all the time. So I'm sitting out in my backyard just pretending I'm Chuck Connor, just going nuts with the thing. My mom's like, "You're gonna shoot yourself."
Shoot your eye out.
No, I'm not. Leave me alone. I'm gonna kill you, Dad, for buying you that damn thing.
I gotta give my mom props. She did give me my first machete, though it wasn't, it was for my birthday. And so, but that was, I think I was like a junior in high school or something. And it was something that she had told me she was going to get me and blah, 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 and all that stuff. So I got to give mom props too. But yeah, my dad killed it with that gift.
Your mom's like, nope. No. Then in adulthood, I had the dumb idea that I should get married the first time on my birthday. That was stupid. stupid. But I was like,
Yeah.
hey, at least this way I'll never have to worry about forgetting my anniversary. But it was a joke because I never really forget things like that anyway. But yeah, so that was kind of dumb. I was happy at the time. 5 years later, not
Well,
so.
my nephew wanted to get married on either his birthday or his wife's birthday. And she said, absolutely not. I am not sharing my birthday with my wedding anniversary. And you are not sharing your birthday with your wedding anniversary. That's not happening. And now he's a state trooper. So they got married on October 4th, 10/4.
Yeah, he
And
probably should have got married on 10/7.
well,
Not as-
he because she wouldn't let him pick either one of those two dates. He picked the one that meant something to him due to his work so that he wouldn't forget. And I'm like, dude, why would you forget? And he looks at me, it's like, Aunt Aggie, have you met me? I was like, okay. He did. He had a horrible time remembering stuff. I don't know how he made it out through the police academy.
I was gonna say if you can graduate the academy, your memory is not as bad as you're telling everybody it is. I'm just
No, he did really great. And so, but as far as he just wanted an easy way to remember or whatever. But another birthday that I think the best birthday I ever had was my 21st birthday. I First of all, I had been legal before because when I turned 18, the drinking age was 18, but in January it was going to turn to 19. So I had like a brief time that I could drink, like like a month and a half.
he's like drinking all the wine. Do it now.
Right. And so I didn't. And then, because I really wasn't interested. And I figured, well, what's the point? I'll just wait till I'm 19. So then I turned 19. And then the following January, they were going to bump it up to 21. And I was like, what the hell? Why are they doing this? This makes no sense. So when I turned 21, I was dating my husband. And so we met in college. And so when I turned 21, he decided to send me on a scavenger hunt for my gifts. And the hint about that tied all the gifts together was Jack. Okay. And I was just like, oh my goodness. So seriously, he laid out all of the clues and I had to go, and it was me and my roommate. We were going because he wasn't with us. Okay. I had to do this on my own with my friend. And I went all over campus to get all of these things. One of the things was a $20 bill because it had Andrew Jackson on it. Okay. Another thing was a jacket, Jack. Another thing was about a bottle of Jack Daniels. And the last gift was a cross pen. And I'm like, a cross pen. And he looked at me and said, cross, like the Union Jack. But oh well. I was stretching it.
Nice.
And so that was, for me, that was the most memorable of all of my birthdays, simply because he put in so much effort and so much thought into it. And it wasn't anything that was, he didn't get me anything that was expensive or anything. The cross pen, he always knew that I wrote a lot of letters. I wrote stories and everything. And I always preferred to handwrite everything instead of type, which is why he gave me a really nice pen. And I still have it, as a matter of fact. But that to me was so thoughtful. And because it was so thoughtful, he felt like he could never live up to it. So after that, it just went to hell. to this day, he's like, yeah, I'm never going to top your 21st birthday. And I'm like, dude, I'm turning 56. He's like, yeah, I'm still not going to top it. So we just go out to dinner. So yeah, I think that was my favorite birthday, my 21st birthday.
I don't know. I can't really think of one that was my favorite. I think that my 21st birthday, of course, that was fun because I could drink legally, but drinking never really bothered me that much because anytime I was with my dad, he was like, if you ever want anything to drink, just let me know and I'll go buy it. So it kind of took all the fun out of it. So by the time I was legal, I was just like, okay, maybe I'll finally figure out why everybody drinks beer. And it took me forever to realize that the taste wasn't terrible. But anyway.
Well, I ended up not drinking the Jack Daniels. I took it to my parents, and my dad is not a Jack drinker. So they kept it for like when visitors came over. And so I never actually got to drink that bottle. But it was a thought that counted for me.
No, that really, especially for 21st birthday. I did see something today that kind of terrified me, and I might have tried it when I was younger. It's they called it something, and I can't remember what the hell they called it, but it's a shot of all of the 5 major brands of whiskey all in one glass, and I'm just like, that just seems like a really bad idea. Like it had Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Jameson, and there were like 2 others, and I was like, this just seems like a really bad idea. But I'd probably try it at least once if I was a little bit younger.
Jack and Coke is my sister. That's all she drank for a while, and then she moved on to Crown and Coke, and then she moved on to Red Berry Ciroc and lemonade, and then she moved on to something. And they're fads. With her, alcohol is a fad. So it's it's just like one day she'll be like, yeah, this doesn't taste right anymore, so she'll move on to something else. I have no idea what she's into now because she had gastric bypass surgery. So
oh yeah, after that it doesn't take much. I had a friend in Louisiana who used to drink all the time, and then she had gastric bypass. And she's just like, no, I can't even drink a half a wine cooler before I start feeling tipsy. Like,
well, I think it my sister kind of gave it up for a while, and she just went back slowly but surely. She can't drink wine because it gives her migraines. So wine was out. She couldn't do a cooler. She can't do White Claw. She can't do hard seltzers at all. But she's okay with frou martinis. So I sent her some recipes like the pear martini and the lemon tini and all the fruit tinnies. She seems to like those. Yeah. But she cuts it in half because she can't drink the whole thing anymore.
Yeah, I blame JD because I was a cheap drunk before him. I went to CPAC and he put basically a snifter full of 12-year-old Macallan on his room bill and said, drink this. I was like, what? I've never had scotch before. He's like, drink it. Yeah, now I'm a scotch guy. my drinking taste got more expensive. I grew up drinking things like Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, and now it's like, got any 12-year-old Macallan? I'll take an 18. They're like, motherfucker, this is Oklahoma. We don't have any Macallan here. I'm like, fuck you.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know what she drinks anymore. I'm like, well, maybe she won't drink anymore, but I don't know. I know that sounds weird coming from a person that runs a cocktail account and everything, but y'all would be surprised at how little I actually drink. As a matter of fact, I think X-Brad in the chat room will tell y'all I'm a total lightweight. But yeah. But when I do drink, yeah, quality over quantity, just like X-Brad just said.
I mean, well, that's kind of the whole point, though. But anyway, all right. So next favorite birthday memories for me, probably tied 16th and last year. The reason the 16th was funny to me, though, is 16th birthday. And this is when this was the summer that we moved back, but I was still with my dad for the summer while my mom was getting everything reorganized at the house we were moving back into. So I had my birthday party over there, and my father, who I absolutely adore now, but for the longest time, kind of, yeah, we had a tough relationship growing up, but it's awesome now. Um, he threw me an over the hill party at 16. 16
Over the
years
hill?
old. Yeah, 16 years old. I have a bunch of over the hill balloons all over
No.
the place. I've got the walker, the cane with the all with the little horn on it, all the little Spencer style gag gift crap, and a cake with pink elephants and empty booze bottles on it. And it's yeah, happy over the hill birthday, Ricky. I'm like, Dad, if I'm over.
Wow.
So I was joking with him when I figured out they were planning on throwing me a big ass party for my 50th, which they did. And I was like, so if I was over the hill at 16, what does that make me now? Under it? He's like, shut up. You thought I thought it was funny, and so did you. I said, it actually kind of scarred me a little bit.
Well, I don't think anybody's ever done the whole over the hill thing for me, which is fine. Don't anybody do it. I'm good. Um,
We're doing that for Zelda on her 30th, but it'll be in the Hobbit Hill, not over the hill.
I mean, I'm like, wow, that's harsh for a 16-year-old. You know? Damn, that's hard. It's really vicious.
Now you know where I get my sarcasm from, though. So
Yes.
probably
Yes.
explains a few things.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I don't, like I said, I've had so few birthday celebrations that it's very hard to pick. And I remember going to one where I was also the celebrant, but it was my cousin's birthday, and they added me to it. And so, because my aunt was throwing my cousins, the twins, fraternal twins, boy and girl,
Yeah.
and my dad was going to Ireland for work during the time that it was going to be my birthday. So my aunt suggested that they celebrate early, my cousin's birthday's being in October, so that my dad could, at least be there for my birthday or whatever. And so, but it was really weird because then I had no friends there, and my cousins had all their friends from school there. And so I didn't know anybody because we didn't even attend the same school. So, but my aunt, she is so sweet and she is so cool. I had my own cake. The twins had their own cake. So two had to share a cake. I had my own cake. Okay. I didn't have to share with anybody because I didn't know anybody there, but I did share. Okay. And then she gave me the coolest, those little jewelry boxes where you open it up and it's a little ballerina dancing inside.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those? Okay. She gave me one of those. And I was just like over the moon with that. And of course, my sister broke it like a week later. But for that week, I was very happy.
You're just a week later.
She didn't mean to. She was
Yeah, that's what they always say. It was an accident, but it was really
she was turning the key and it snapped and it broke. So it would not play anymore, but I still had the box, And she felt bad I think she still feels bad, honestly.
No, she pretended to feel bad. She's like, you can't have nice things. It's not allowed. Anyway.
No, she was, well, I don't know. She tells me she feels bad, but does she really? I don't know.
I don't believe you. Yeah, my middle kids, they hated it growing up because their birthdays are so close together that we usually wound up picking like a day in the middle and doing their birthdays together. So that, because we always tried to do like bigger parties for them. So normally they were doing like the Chuck E. Cheese birthday parties and everything. So we just kind of pick a day in the middle when nobody else had any birthdays and do theirs, because my middle two kids are exactly, and this is going to sound really weird when I say this, but they're exactly 13 months, 13 days, and 13 hours apart. I never counted the minutes because I was afraid to be terrified. But yeah, so Jess and Dave their birthdays were really close together. So when they were growing up, we always did theirs. We kind of picked a neutral day and just did theirs together. And then when they got older, where they were like, "We want our own birthdays." So that's fine. You just get to go to dinner now anyway. You're old.
Yeah. I do remember there was one time. This only happened once. My dad came home from work and signed me out of school for lunch. And he had arranged with not just for me to have the lunch period off, but the following period off as well. He told them I had an appointment. Okay. I was not aware of this appointment. I just knew about my dad was picking me up for lunch. I thought we were going to go to like Burger King or, somewhere close or whatever. But it was still a big deal because my dad never took time from work because he worked pretty far away. So, it was like a 40-minute commute for him every morning and every afternoon. So for him to actually come to take me to lunch, that was a pretty big deal. He took me to Red Lobster. And back then, going to Red Lobster was a pretty fucking deal. Okay, big deal. And there I am. And he says, you can whatever you want to eat is fine. You can order the lobster or whatever. And I looked at Dad, it's like, I'm not really into lobster. I really don't care for it. And he looked at me, it's like, well, you're not your mother's daughter, that's for sure. So my mom loves lobster. Lobster's fine, don't get me wrong. It's just it just tastes like nothing to me. There's not a lot of taste there. So anyway, I ordered some kind of shrimp thing, and my dad spent the entire lunchtime criticizing every single person there. It was epic. Now he did it sotto voce, okay, very quietly, so that nobody else could hear, only me. But that's all he did. And for an hour and a half, I was dying. I mean, there was the woman, like 2 tables over, ordered a shrimp salad. The deep fried shrimp, and it was like a 3 shrimp deal. So she had the deep fried shrimp, the shrimp scampi, and some other kind of shrimp or whatever, and then a Diet Coke because she's watching her weight. My dad ripped. I know my dad ripped into her. I was like, Dad, and he's like, well, it's true. But I mean, he was criticizing everybody. And we're going back after dessert and everything. We go back and he's driving me back to school. And I was like, Dad, you said so many mean things about those people there. And he said, yeah, I did. But they were funny. And I was like, did you mean them? He said, not all of them. No, not all of them. And I was fine for a while until he said, the one I said was too old to be, out. She wasn't too old. That was the only one he took back. But, Dad's always been, that's how he entertained us. He pokes fun at people, but he also, tells us, there's a what you should not do, and I learned a lot about how to conduct myself because of the way he would not do it. So that was quite a memorable birthday for me, simply because, he actually went out of his way to take me out of school, which was like, honestly, the only time I've ever had to be taken out of school was for a dental appointment that could not be moved past 3:30. So which should tell you, I mean, my parents were very loath to take me out of school for anything. I remember my mom had to go to the hospital for something. My dad didn't tell us. He didn't go. He did not call the school or anything. He waited until we were home to let us know, let us know that mom was in the hospital. And I was like, why did you tell us? And I said, what could you do? And he's right. We couldn't do anything. And there was no reason for them to come pick us up and take us home, where we would just be worrying ourselves to death, and everything. And, she was fine. It was just a small scare, but, that's the way I mean, they wouldn't even do that. That's just the way my parents are. But anyway, they were total boomers. We are all Gen X for a reason.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I got distracted. I just happened to pull up a New York Post article. Go Belichick. So apparently Belichick at 72 is dating a 24-year-old former cheerleader.
Okay. All right.
All I'm going to say,
I thought he was married.
All I'm going to say about that is this.
Giggity, 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 goo. Stick around.
I thought he was too.
I was in the middle of swallowing sweet tea. Oh my goodness. I thought he was married. I didn't know that he was single.
I'm sorry. Did you just say you were in the middle of swallowing?
Tea. Stop. Oh my God. Oh goodness. I'm not going to live that down. Anyway. But yeah. So I think for me, those are my favorite, the birthdays. But yeah, because they're, like I said, I have very few far between. So
oh. Ow. I don't know where that came from. Ouch.
Do you have any others?
Honestly, I think we've covered most of mine. To be honest, like I said, we never really seemed like we made a very big deal about my birthday growing up. Most of the time, it was just little party at home with a few friends, and then when we moved around, I mean, one of the semi coolest birthdays for me that wasn't like one of the major ones, but I guess kind of was when I turned 13. A bunch of friends and I went and saw. I think it was pretty sure it was the second Beverly Hills Cop. We saw it in the movie theaters on my birthday. That was pretty fun.
Oh, I bet that was. That's a cool movie too. I was so upset watching Jürgen Prochnow in that movie because I loved him in Das Boot. I loved him in The Seventh Sign. He was a good guy, and then he was a bad guy in this one. I'm like, no, you can't do that to me.
Not how it's supposed to work. You can't be the heel. You're the face. You can't be the heel.
I know. I was like, I was distraught.
Well, I mean, that's off topic, but it reminds me of, because I was never really into wrestling when I was younger. I had cousins that were, because I had cousins that were older, so they would always like come over and watch it late night Friday nights when I stayed the weekends with my dad. And I remember them completely flipping out when Hogan went heel, and I'm like, I don't really care. How can you not care? Hulk Hogan was awesome. It was like the only really experience I had with Hogan, other than watching this with you guys, was back when he was popular enough that he had like a Saturday morning cartoon show for like one season before he went heel. That was pretty much my experience with Hulk Hogan.
I remember that. I also remember my brother getting an Optimus Prime toy for like when he was like 3, and I think he still has it. Honestly, he kept all of his toys.
Yeah. So summer of 1986 is one of the summers I will always regret because that was the summer my dad and I took my brother to go watch Transformers the movie, and we accidentally, because we weren't paying any attention, we walked into Top Gun right as it was starting, and then realized we were in the wrong theater. Turned around, found the right theater. 20 minutes into the movie, my dad and I are looking over my kid brother who's just sitting in between us, happily munching his popcorn, going, "We should have stayed in the other theater."
Okay, that's hilarious.
Oh, I mean, I get it. You see it now, but as a kid, you didn't realize it. The
Right.
the freaking cartoons like G.I. Joe, Transformers, all those cartoons, and GoBots and all the others were just animated infomercials to get kids to go buy toys. You can see it now looking at it, but as a kid, you don't realize it. And that's what they tried to do with Transformers the movie. And I think by that point, I was old enough that I was starting to understand it. So it wasn't fun for me because I was just like, no, this is stupid. And then they killed Optimus Prime off, who happened to be like my favorite Transformer. And I'm like, you people suck. Why would
I
you do
know.
that? And then replace him with Rodimus Prime of all things? What the hell is that? Like, it's just stupid. But yeah, no, it's funny, and that's why when the Maverick finally came out a couple years ago, I was like, I am going to see this movie in the theaters. I don't care. I missed the first one, had to watch it on VHS. I'm not doing that to myself again. And now they're making a third one, which makes me really, really happy. I know,
I need
but
to get over my thing about Top Gun. I really do
I
because
really do. It is an awesome movie.
I haven't watched it yet.
I know. Trust me. I know.
I know. People are gonna be like,
That's all right because 3, 2, 1, Zelda in chat. What's Top Gun?
I know, it's coming. She's gonna say something.
What's that? Kind of like last night in the DM room, work DM room. She's like, "What's Skynet?" I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my! I was like, what the fuck? You don't know what it is. I was like, oh, don't do this to me. I think I grew like 10 more gray hairs when she wrote that. Oh man. All right. Well, I guess we're at the bottom of the half hour. Whatever. So we were going to do a short show so that you guys can run off to spaces and go do your roast. So Rick, tell us where we can find you.
We weren't going to do that for about another hour anyway, but there are a couple of things I need to do in the meantime, so that still works out.
Yay.
You can find me on social media at RowdyRick73. You can find me daily, usually if my internet's working, which today it was being cranky. Monday through Friday doing the Rick Robinson Show, 3 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on KLRN Radio. You can also find me every other Saturday night doing Juxtaposition with Ordnance J. Packard, our every 2-week, 2-hour foray into the weird, the unusual, the unexplainable. I also host the America Off the Rails show on Sunday night and at 10 p.m. Eastern, and produce a ton of others, and you'll be getting into most of those in a minute, so I'm not going to keep going into those. Oh, also, because I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't do this, Juxtaposition every Wednesday, last Wednesday of the month. Not Juxtaposition, Toxic Masculinity. Toxic Masculinity, last Wednesday of the month. Usually it's me, G, Andrew, Ordy, and you, along with the babe of the month, and we do all the things that makes us too toxic for Spotify, 1 hour a month. Other than that, you can find me as a daily contributor on twitchy.com, misfitspolitics.com, contributions when available, loftusparty.com, and also the executive producer of the Loftus Party podcast. And coming soon, next Thursday, there will be Jen and Rick, 10 p.m. Eastern. But before that, Going Mental with John Katz, newest addition to KLRN Radio, premieres next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here live on KLRNradio.com. And I think that's everything. And if not, we have a schedule for a reason. I'm just saying. Good Lord, I do too much.
Wow.
Anyway,
okay.
Where can folks find you?
Well, you can find me at Aggie Rican and at Aggie the Barkeep. Those are over on X. You can find me Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern doing the Cocktail Lounge with the ever suave Brad Slager. Friday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, doing He Said, She Said with you. Uh, uh, Wednesday nights, Toxic Masculinity, last Wednesday of every month at 8 o'clock Eastern. And Jeff and I are now doing Spirited Books once a month, first Monday of every month. We finally moved it back to the originally scheduled programming at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So the next one should be on the 1st, I want to say,
Yep.
July 1st. So,
It's July 1st.
all right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us this evening, even though it was a short show. And we hope that you guys have a fun chat over on Spaces later on.
All right, and I'll be putting out notifications about that later. Anybody who wants to come hang out, you are welcome to. It will be Spaces only because unfortunately my test failed. Still haven't figured out why that won't integrate, but it's all right. We'll see you guys in about an hour or so while we roast the birthday girl. Bye, everybody.